Good afternoon to all the Foundation members and friends watching today. My name is Hakimzadeh, and it is my absolute privilege to be here today. I am recording this message in advance as I expect to be at sea on board USS Harry S. Truman during the actual ceremony with nearly 5,000 of the finest young people you could ever know doing our nation's business, which is, of course, making defense of our homeland an away game. Let me first acknowledge how wonderful it is to be the undercard event for Congressman Clyburn as he is presented with the Good Neighbor Award here shortly. As a lifelong public servant and a senior member of Congress for nearly 30 years, his is a body of work that is truly worthy of this recognition. He is an inspiration to all of us who hold this country dear. Congratulations, sir. Thank you to the Truman Good Neighbor Foundation for honoring me with the 2021 Philip Pistilli Veterans Medal. Looking over the illustrious career of this award's namesake and some of the prior recipients of this award, I'm humbled and overwhelmed by this honor. It's a little difficult to reconcile being honored for doing something that you love so very much. I love serving my country. I love being a naval officer, and I certainly love being captain of the best warship in the United States Navy. And that's actually official, folks. Last week we got word that USS Harry S. Truman is the best ship in the United States Atlantic Fleet. I often joke with my wife that I would do this job for free, take a second job to do it. She disagrees, of course. My desire to serve certainly comes from my background. Mine was one of many families that fled the chaos and turmoil of the Iranian Revolution in 1979. As an 11-year-old, my entire world was turned upside down as we moved from Tehran, Iran, to a small town of Petal in southern Mississippi. That's where I got my accent. Even as a preteen, that transition between living in a huge city under a tyrannical regime, from there transitioning to the stability that we enjoyed living in the United States was truly stark for me. I learned as a youngster to really appreciate the freedoms that we enjoy as Americans, and I've always ever since wanted to help preserve those freedoms. I joined the Navy shortly after high school, and for the past 34 years, I've been living that dream. As a naval flight officer, I've flown combat operations in the Balkans in the early 90s. I've spent many, many hours flying over Iraq over the past 3 decades, and I've spent even more time both on the ground and in the air over Afghanistan over the past couple of decades. In ship command, I've spent time in the Western Pacific interacting with our Chinese adversaries on board USS John C. Stennis. I've spent time in the Black Sea interacting with our Russian adversaries on board USS Mount Whitney. And most recently, had the opportunity with this fine crew to face down the country of my heritage, Iran, to dissuade them from carrying out their nefarious activities in the Middle East. Here on board Harry S. Truman, and it's all been my privilege. Through it all, I've never forgotten things like the first time I got to see an aircraft carrier as a 19-year-old sailor. I was walking along the pier at the Navy base going to see a friend, and I see 2 aircraft carriers boarded a pier, and as I got closer and closer, I was awestruck. I knew right then and there that what I wanted to do with my life was to be in charge of one of those magnificent ships. These things represent for me the best of America. They're huge, they're very stable, and boy, oh boy, if they're in your neighborhood, you certainly know it. Whenever I speak to young people about opportunity, I spend a lot of time talking about service and how our country, by serving our country, you can develop your own opportunity. And I always tell that story about the 19-year-old me, seeing an aircraft carrier for the first time and wanting to be an aircraft carrier commander someday. And I tell people all the time, the fact that I was able to achieve that dream is both a testament to our merit-based system of government employment, military, and the United States Navy. But most importantly, I think the fact that a kid named Hakimzadeh can achieve a dream like that is a testament to the greatness of the United States of America. Thank you again to the Truman Good Neighbor Foundation for this honor. I will cherish this recognition and the deep respect for our country that it represents. It's wonderful people like you and your commitment to our great nation that assures our continued success as a country. Take it from someone who has seen the alternative. Even in the most stressful of times, what we have as Americans is incredibly special. And it's certainly worth defending. And I promise you that when it comes to any adversary out there who seeks to disrupt what we have, my crew and I will continue to give them hell. Thank you very much, and God bless.